Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Peggy.
And you're watching the Junction Fiber Mill Millcast.
Millcast, yeah. We always seem to start with the weather report. A little chilly this morning.
It's a little chilly, but we should mention we are pre-recording this about a week early.
Yeah.
So we, I think this is airing on the day after Christmas.
Right, the 26th.
Yeah.
But I was going to start the Millcast wearing everything I had on when I got here. I was wrapped up. I had my felted gloves on, my felted mittens. Yeah. Because it was chilly. And the river is high, but beautiful sunny day.
Well, speaking of, what are you wearing?
Oh, I am wearing a sweater that my daughter Kate knit years and years ago. And I'm just thrilled. Every time I put it on, I think it's got a little hoodie. I've worn it, I think, before on the Millcast.
Yeah.
But I thought the color was right for the...
It looks so beautiful. Like, it just... I always think it's store-bought when you're wearing it.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
It's very pro. I mean,
it's the seams, I think. They just look, like, so well done.
Yeah,
so.
she did a great job.
Yeah.
And she hasn't knit for a while. I think for some people, it's in their lives, and then they rest, but it's kind of like when you ride a bike. Mm-hmm. When you know how to knit, you pick it up again.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so...
So we talked in our last episode a little bit about, I just mentioned that there was a holiday party in my community at the Schoolhouse.
Right. And you know, we just take those schoolhouses for granted. And
we just assume everyone has schoolhouses.
Well, so I too have a one-room schoolhouse in our neighborhood. But, I've lived in a suburb of Boston, New York, Chicago. Schools were, elementary schools were where you took your kids. These are standalone, usually one room, heated by a wood-burning stove. Ours doesn't have a working toilet. Mm-hmm. And it's where the neighborhood kids all gathered, and it would be one room for, kindergarten to fifth grade, whatever. Mm-hmm. Our neighborhood schoolhouse was a working schoolhouse until 1947.
Oh, wow.
That was the last class. And some of the relatives of that class are still in the neighborhood.
Huh.
And we just have a charming... I've got some pictures from an apple press party. We gather there 4 times a year for a potluck, but then we also gather for a cookie exchange and an apple press party. And it's really a community hub for our little neighborhood.
Yeah,
and it sounds like yours does the same, sort of.
Yeah, I'm on the board, actually, for our little schoolhouse. Good. And we, before COVID, it was a lot more active, and we're just starting to get back into things again. But, yeah, the annual holiday party is always a favorite. Little potluck, Santa comes, that sort of thing. Yeah. And then you, as community members, can sort of rent it out, too. So for my daughter's first birthday, that's where we had the birthday party. But we did pizza. My husband was involved with building a pizza oven there. And so we did neighborhood pizza nights once a month throughout the summer. That was super fun.
It's sort of giving a second life to something that had been very tradition to Vermont, sort of like we all know about the covered bridges. Yep. And you experience the covered bridges because you're driving around. You don't know about these schoolhouses because they're tucked away in neighborhoods. Yep. But they're in many communities, they're getting this second life as a center for the community. It's very cool. It's very Vermont-y.
Yeah. And with the, climate sort of changing, they also are getting, like, ours has gotten funding to be sort of a community hub. So we have certain things like a generator and, having broadband access at our schoolhouse so that the community can use it in case of both emergency and just like if there's a need for these sorts of things. So that has been a big push in our neighborhood. Is I forget the name of the organization, but it's like a community resilience organization or something like that, to help basically pad the damages of climate change to sort of look extra local and get resources at a very, very local community level.
That's very local. We're going to have to hook up with that group too. We don't have...
Yeah,
we don't have internet.
I think it's like national, but there's like chapters everywhere. So that's also what these little schoolhouses are getting put to use as like...
Nice.
In case of emergency, shelter, that sort of thing. So
the history just takes a little change and continues.
It's great we have the buildings.
It's very cool.
Yeah, they're all old and like, they take work, but...
Oh, absolutely. We have painting parties and have to raise money to repair the foundation, all those good things. I have to tell you why I ran home yesterday. Okay. I had said to Amanda, no matter what the weather is, I got to get out of here before 3 o'clock because we had talked about breeding had ended. And so we have 2, I call them intact rams, meaning they do their thing. But one of them,
parts.
I have to say, one of them is a lamb. Like he's only 7 months old, so he's unproven. We won't know until March whether he got the job done. But one ram was over with his girls, one ram was over with his girls, and we had a cold snap, and they ate down the hay so fast that we were like, we're not going to put another round bale out.
Yep.
So we've got to get them all back, and it's not easy because you're on one side, and the peanut gallery, who we aren't breeding, is in the middle at the barnyard. So it's, how do you get the girls up? Keep that ram here. You get these girls up, but now how do we get that ram all the way around to join his partner? And Todd had the idea, because of all the rain that we've had, our barnyard is a complete muck scene. We put a harness on him and a leg. So his leg and neck are in the harness. And we took him outside into the backyard, outside of the fencing. I'm like going, oh man, hang on to this guy, because he's so new to us.
They can be wily, those sheep, especially when they're leaving their girlfriends behind.
It's exactly right. He was like, you want me to go that way? I want to go that way. I want to stay with the girls. So it was push, cajole, because
God.
But I was like, don't let go of the harness.
Yeah.
But we got him over with his boys, and all is now right in the world. But it just takes time. The one thing you realize with sheep, they don't come when you call. Let's be clear about that. And if they're anxious, although they love grain, if they're in a state of anxiousness, screw the grain. They want to deal with their anxieties. So there was no dealing with grain with this little boy.
Yeah.
It was push, shove. And
he's also like pretty young to be fully grain trained too.
Exactly. This is true. This is true. So we just took our time, 2 steps forward, 1 back, but we got him in, and now that's done.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Breeding season over. Good
Breeding
luck
season
to the ladies.
Over. Yeah. So everybody's in their right place now.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we thought it might be fun for this last episode of 2023 to take a look back on what a year we've had.
And I don't know, I feel it's kind of flown by.
Oh, it's totally flown by. I mean, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
But it's just, basically the time since my daughter was born, it's just been like one big hazy
But we thought we'd
thing.
go, what were some of the great things? I in no particular order, I couldn't believe we got into Rhinebeck.
That was huge. When did we find out we got in?
It was like late May.
Yeah.
Because we were already committed to going to the H&H wholesale.
Yep.
And that was cool. But we were going to H&H to look for local yarn shops that wanted to carry our yarn, having just learned we got into Rhinebeck, which was going to have its big demand on supply.
And at the same time, we were also training our 2 new employees. And so that period of time, I just remember as being completely, like, not chaotic, but it was just like...
a little on the stressful side.
Switching lanes so much every day. And...
because we wanted to make sure Emma and Leah felt they were getting the attention they needed to get up to speed on the equipment. And meanwhile, all this other stuff, And gosh, that's also a huge highlight. We have such fabulous people working here.
Yeah.
And having Leah and Emma join the team was huge.
Yeah, so they both joined April
May-ish. and May. Emma in April and Leah in May.
And definitely by the time by the time the fall rolled around, the 2 of them were off to the races.
Oh, completely.
Very comfortable with the machinery, and it's just such a great luck that
we spent August absolutely cranking.
Yeah, to get ready for fulfilling those wholesale orders that we got through H&H, and then to get ready for Rhinebeck.
Rhinebeck, Vermont Sheep and Wool, Fiber Festival of New England, but Rhinebeck was the big, elephant in the room. Yeah. Yeah. So that was good.
And at Rhinebeck, too, we sort of dove right in, and we had our first meetup as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Which was so cool.
And our first real knit-along.
Right. So that was sort of related. We did the knit-along meetup at Rhinebeck. So we did first 2 knit-alongs this year, which were just like so much fun to involve community in a sort of non-festival setting. And we're definitely going to keep doing them because it was just great to see how many people are engaging with us from all around the country.
And that was the Torkel, the Ona Walton's Torkel, and it was just a novel. It was a great one to start with.
I wear mine all the time.
Yeah, it's terrific. The other highlight, I think, is we did not 1 but 2 retreats. We did a retreat in July and then another one in October, and wow, was that fun!
It was so fun. I loved eating all the things. It was a fiber retreat treat, but the food was very much a huge part of it, which for me is very important.
And just great people from all over the country came in. And I'm sorry that we're not going to do one in 2024 because you're going to have a kid and that comes first.
I'm sorry for everybody who wants to attend one. I'm not sorry for us for next year.
Well, yeah, but we'll look for 2025. But in the meantime, looking backwards, they were great.
They were great,
and the folks that joined, very fun.
Yeah, it was
very
awesome.
Fun. Yeah. What else did we have?
Well, we went to Italy because we were getting a new spinner. So that's two huge ones.
Yeah.
So to me, Italy really stands out this year because we sort of built it up from this time last year when we placed our order for the spinner.
That's right.
And then we thought, okay, some point we're going to go to Italy.
And learn how to use it.
And it was like, I feel like we booked our tickets like 3 weeks out because we got like an immediate, like, the spinner is actually ready earlier than we thought, which was so great because we thought we'd have to go in, the late fall, but we got to go end of summer instead. So we went to Italy. It was a quick trip.
Yeah, I was about to say a whirlwind trip, but so phenomenal to see Ramella at their actual factory where they design and build just amazing equipment. And it's a small team of people building just really outstanding equipment. And then our spinner has arrived, and we're pretty excited to bring that online.
Yeah, but and it was just fun too. A lot of ideas came out of that trip. We got to spend a lot of time together. The two of us.
We did a lot of meals.
We did a lot of meals.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the Duomo.
Yeah, we went to see the big cathedral in central Milan. That was so fun.
That was wild.
Yeah, we can't complain too much about it, the Italy trip. Although we both did get COVID afterwards, which is another, it's a low light of 2023.
Yeah. Oh, that? Yeah. But fortunately, I feel fully recovered. Do you feel?
Yeah, finally I feel fully recovered. It took a while.
It did take a little while. Yeah. What else? Well, obviously the big news of this year is you're going to have a second.
Yeah, I got pregnant and baby's coming in like 2 months, so it's pretty wild.
Getting real, huh?
It's definitely getting real.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I have my aches and pains, but in general, I've got energy up until it's dark out, which is not a huge part of the day in this part of the world. But it's good. The baby is kicking all the time, so
Excellent.
that's it's just kind of fun. You're here. It sort of feels like you've got your little secret conversation going on with your unborn kid while you're talking to everybody else. So.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's funny. Yesterday I was I'm not normally like in the mill as much, but I was watching the spinner and doing a little bit of work on the computer, and the baby was kicking, and I was in your camp lounger chair, and I was like, this is the life, watching yarn get made. It was great.
While the aliens whacking on the walls and don't forget me.
It's cool. But the baby comes in early March, so that was definitely a big highlight for us this year, and we definitely wanted to have a second, and we feel really lucky that it's going to happen.
That's great.
Yeah.
More mundane, we got new windows, which made a huge impact on the mill. They
look beautiful.
Let the sun come in.
I mean, we have you can't see it back where we're sitting now because this is sort of the warehouse, but the noisy part of the mill where we can't record right now is, you saw it in previous episodes, just tons of light coming in.
Yeah, high ceilings, and we had to replace the windows because we've always been battling the humidity, and the old windows were old, and the humidity was just going right out, and we needed to have new windows that would kind of seal things in so that we weren't constantly running the sinks to crank up the humidity.
On that front, I believe it was this year we got a new heater as well. I think that was sometime in the spring.
Yep.
And it's been doing great.
Yeah. It created more space so that we could have more of a dye area.
That's right. We were dyeing where our big old oil tank was sitting, and so they took that out of here. We've got a little propane heater now, and it's doing great.
Yeah, it is doing quieter, and bought us some space, and just trying to do the improvements.
Yeah.
And speaking of improvements, we worked on improving ourselves here. We got it's a long story, but we were encouraged to apply for a coaching session, 60 hours with a really excellent mentor, and we got it. And it was fully funded by, actually, I think the dollars ultimately came from the SBA, the Small Business Association. And I think it was really helpful for us to realize that we had to slow down and look ahead, and significantly look ahead to plan things out and, have a better handle on where we're headed.
Yeah.
So that we weren't every day kind of going, okay, what do we have to deal with today?
There is still some of that, to be sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is very common as a small business owner. You're wearing a million hats, and it's sometimes, you hope you're prioritizing the best ones, but there, and we've found a lot of help this year.
Yeah.
Like at the beginning, it was very much just you and me, and certainly Todd and
Google.
Cody helped out as well, but at the beginning it was a tiny team, and then as things have gotten more complex, as we've scaled up a little bit, introducing like basically full-time mill worker positions, we've had some part-time mill sort of dyeing and
helping with
hanking,
and labeling, and some social media help.
We're working with an excellent person to help us with our accounting needs, which has just been huge, and just this sort of humbling realization that we can't keep it all in our two heads right now. And I'm pretty thankful that alongside of starting the business I had a kid, because I think it would have been really easy for me to just let this be my only thing going on. But we've always prioritized work-life balance here.
family first.
Yep. So it's we've been sort of setting a sustainable course for ourselves, which we continued to do this year, but a big part of that was finding people who have skills that we don't, or who have time to learn the skills we need them to learn, and helping us.
So February will conclude our third year.
Yep.
And I think this has been our very big growth year, just in terms of having to bring on more people. Because when I go back and think about February 2021 when we started, it was just you and I, and we're just going to do some custom processing, and that's what we'll be doing. And then it's just sort of started grow, and then it was bam. 2023 is just it. Like you said, we needed help. And we've gotten some terrific help. And
I want to say though, when we first reached out, or when we first hired our first mill worker, that was Anastasia, I think almost the impetus was more my maternity leave than like we definitely needed help. Right. And then once she was here, it became very apparent that we need help. So she was great. She moved on to an awesome grad school program.
Unbelievable.
And now we have Emma and Leah in that same mill worker role, and we're hiring currently for a third. So
a third person to work all the equipment. Plus we have people helping with us dyeing and the social media, and Todd still volunteers from time to time. He was in here yesterday hanking away.
Well, and he does the stuff like take all the garbage to the dump.
Yes, he does the dump runs. Yes.
So,
we appreciate that.
It's a whole team effort here. It's definitely not just you and me
No,
anymore. So
no.
That's just been really cool for me this year to sort of dig into that. Like, this is a business, and this is part of the community, and this is a team, and that's been a really big priority of both of ours, I know, is to make the work environment good, and it has been, and I'm very thankful for that.
Now I'm getting now I'm going to get weepy. It's been amazing, and I tell you, we don't do any advertising in the Upper Valley. We are just here making yarn, and we do our open houses. But anywhere you go, if they know that you have anything to do with the mill, they're like, oh, I drive by it all the time. I see the puns that you have outside, or I've been meaning to get over there. Like, we're a thing.
Yeah.
And they can't believe that we're making yarn in downtown White River Junction.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fun.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah.
It is cool.
What else?
Well, did we hit everything?
You had a new grandkid this year.
Oh, yeah, right. My third grandson, Will. He is thriving. He's doing great. My daughter has a 3.5-year-old. My son-in-law as well, 3.5, 1.5, and a newborn. But they're doing quite well. Yeah, thank you. And we're going over New Year's weekend.
Oh, yeah?
To see them. Can't wait.
That's great.
That'll be very good.
Well, in light of all of that, we are excited to share this just between us, but we thought we'd share with you tonight. Peg and I are going to take ourselves out to dinner.
Yeah, just the two of us, and you're going to have a mocktail, and I'm going to have a cocktail, and we're going to toast ourselves.
Yeah, because I think it's important to celebrate. I even last night when you texted, are we still on for dinner? It was going to be so easy for me to say, it's too busy, there's too much going on, but it's important. We have to celebrate.
That said, it's a very early dinner reservation.
Yeah, because I honestly, That's what the 5 o'clock hour has become my dinner.
Yeah, we won't be ringing in the next day. Yeah, well,
I'm a little intimidated by driving home in the dark, if I'm honest. So
all right.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just, it's like that is so rare for me these days, which is hilarious. Our friends are having a little Christmas get-together on Friday, and I think we're going to stay over for that reason. All right. I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, so we'll have a fun dinner tonight, and we've got a quick little what's going on in the mill.
Yeah.
This is...
Well, first of all, before we move on, I want to say the Millcast has been huge this year, too.
Well, we should say,
It didn't start in 2023, so I don't think we wrote it on our list of new things.
Right.
But we absolutely loved the Millcast community, and we've had so much fun, like, seeing people in person at festivals, getting your very, very kind comments on the Millcast. We read them all.
If you had told me... before we started the Millcast, that we'd do a Millcast and that anyone would be watching, I'd be like, I don't think so. Who's going to care? And by gosh, awful lot of folks, as you guys know, I think are enjoying learning what's going on under the hood, as they say.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you for being a part of our 2023.
Totally. Yeah.
Good. Okay, what do we got in the mill?
Yeah, we do make yarn. So we're right in the middle of and I know you're going to look at this and go, oh my God, more gray yarn. This is different. This is Icelandic crossed with Romney.
Which, on our website, we make it very clear we don't do Icelandic here.
Right, but this is a cross.
Yeah, and so what the cross does is it eliminated those guard hairs, which is the reason we forbade Icelandic, because we don't have a dehairer. So we didn't want to deal with, like, spinning in those really... pointy, scratchy guard hairs into yarn. So this Icelandic cross does not have that. But what do we do with it?
We have added 20% silk to it.
You can really see it. Oh my gosh.
It's the little shine. It's the little shine of white. And I think it also has affected the texture. I can't wait to see how this actually spins up into yarn.
Yeah, the only silk blends we've really done have been like that Suffolk and silk that we had earlier this year.
And I'm not sure we went up to 20% on that.
I'm not sure either. Yeah, I'm really interested. So this has been pin drafted or carded, or
it has only been carded. Okay. And what's interesting is the customer also has the similar only in white. So we're going to have two relatively large orders of this gray with the silk and then the white with the silk. And
it'll be very cool
fun.
to see
very cool
what is happening with it.
Yeah, and the white is a lot. I want to say it's starting out at 50.
It's like right behind the camera
we're looking
now.
at it. It's 54 pounds of raw, so that's going to be a sizable amount of wool and yarn. But that's very cool.
Yeah.
Lots of else is getting spun in there, but we wanted to share that with you. Yeah.
Well, we don't have a what we're knitting this week, but I did bring some show and tell.
Yay.
I said that I would. I'm not done with it yet.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, boy.
Here is my Waldorf doll in progress.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, it's bigger than I thought. Oh, that's adorable.
Smell it.
How do you say lavender? And it's heavy.
That's the millet.
Yeah, I get it. Wow. Okay.
So it looks, it's cute, right?
Yeah, and you're starting to get it. Yeah, it's going to get the face there.
Yeah, so it has, underneath there is like a little doll making like gauze or like a sock tube or whatever that you use. Stuff a big ball of roving in there, and then you tie a string in a couple places and sort of sew that down. And then you put the fabric over
and that's what's
top.
Giving the shape of where you know the eyes are going to go.
Yes, that's the eye line, and then that's like the cheek line is this one.
Okay.
And then... yeah, I mean, it's a lot of hand sewing that's been kind of therapeutic.
Okay.
I just used some, it's funny, the fabric I used for this I had sitting around from the like early COVID days of when I was making masks and masks. So it's funny to think how, what you buy fabric for and what it ends up getting used for. But yeah, it's
so has
filled
Maeve
with millet.
Seen you making it?
I don't think so. Well, yeah, she saw parts of it, but she hasn't seen the finished thing.
Okay.
So the steps I have yet to do are... I'm going to do some embroidered, like, closed sleepy eyes and, like, a little smile. And then it's going to have, like, a baby bunting thing over it that it goes in a little hat with a little tie on top. So,
good.
And those, I think, will be removable so she can, like, take it off. But it is heavy. It weighs a few pounds. And so the idea is that it's, like, comforting for her to have her own little doll.
Her own baby.
Yeah, and hopefully... the rodents don't come for it
because
it smells like
lavender. But you don't have any mice, not rodents. You don't have any mice in your house, so it's not a problem.
No, not a problem. She'll probably drag it outside, though, knowing her. But anyways, so by the time you're watching this, she'll have gotten it for Christmas.
Oh, was that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I just got to get the little outfit on her. I got to stop by Joann's and get a few other.
Yep.
A longer needle for doing the embroidery because it has to go all the way through the head.
Oh.
Like a doll making needle, so you can like bury the.
Oh, sure.
The threads. But,
Wow.
yeah. Then I'll just.
Very cool.
But it's been fun.
Not creepy in the least. When it gets eyes on it and
it looks a little like a ghost baby right now.
A little.
But they originally, Waldorf dolls
I'm not
did
trying to
have
knock it, but
expressions. I think it's extra creepy if you look at the Frankenstein looking head. But I did buy a little bit of like doll making rouge, which I probably could have just used my makeup, but you a little crayon that you put little pink cheeks
give
on
a little
them.
coloring.
Yeah, should be cute.
Very good.
All right. I think we're gonna sign off
and close out 2023.
What a year it's been!
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Thanks for coming along for the ride, folks.
Absolutely.
We will see you in the new year.
Yeah.
Bye.